नो डाउट इट्स अ ग्रेट बजट. गवर्नमेंट मार्केट को सुन रही है. एंड मार्क माई वर्ड्स, लिबरलाइजेशन सिर्फ शुरुआत है. इट्स जस्ट अ बिगिनिंग. अब इंडिया भी खड़ा होगा. 56 इंच की छाती लेकर खड़ा होगा. दुनिया की आंखों में आंखें डाल के खड़ा होगा. इन्वेस्ट इन इंडिया. इंडिया पे लगा दो, क्योंकि इंडिया का भाव बढ़ने वाला है.
You have to believe this. I just wanted to start this video by saying those same exact dialogues. But then I thought that will be pretty much extra. And also, both the scenarios are completely different. In that scenario, in that time, the economy was just started to open up. And in today's time, the economy is more concerned towards expansion and growth. Yes, in today's video, I will discuss my views and my opinions on this historic union budget. So before starting this video, I just want to make it very clear that I'm not here to discuss the same points which you are looking across the social media handles or even in the news channels. Rather, I am here to discuss my viewpoints and my analysis on some of the major points which were discussed during the budget announcement. So to start off, I will first discuss about the stock markets. So on the day of the budget, you all saw Sensex going up by 5%. That was the highest single day move for the Sensex as far as the budget day is concerned. And why not? Investors were really happy after the budget. So now I will discuss why the investors were happy. Because before the budget, the investors were anticipating some of the major points. Like they thought there will be increment in the STCG. They thought there will be some kind of twerking in the LTCG part. The street participants were highly anticipating the introduction of the wealth tax. But as a matter of fact, none of these things were altered or introduced in this budget. So that gave a lot of confidence in the investor, and they thought it's a good time to deploy their money, because they are now pretty much confident that in the upcoming years they don't have to be bothered about higher tax rate or higher tax structure on their equity investments. So on the day of the budget, the investors pumped a lot of money in the market, and as a matter of fact, the Sensex and also the Nifty went to a new level. Also, there was one announcement made in the budget which the market participants welcomed with both their hands, and the announcement was, now the income tax authorities cannot reopen your income tax returns of more than 3 years old. This limit was previously 6 years, but now in this budget the tenure has been reduced to 3 years. So that also gave a sense of satisfaction and relaxation in the minds of investors, and now they can push the money in the markets freely and very easily. So all in all, these were some of the major points which I think help the market to reach the new levels. So now let's move forward and talk about the second announcement, which is the scrappage policy. And believe me, this one is my personal favorite. So now in the budget announcement, government announced about the scrappage policy. So the scrappage policy aims in two things. Number one, to bring down the environmental pollution by 30%, and number two, to give a real boost in the automobile sector. So government is aiming to bring down the environmental pollution by 30%. That's a very good sign. Secondly, government is trying to create new demands in the automobile sector. So according to this scheme, any commercial vehicle or any personal vehicle which is 15 or 20 years old has to be compulsorily replaced with the new engine variant. So that shows that government is trying really hard to give a real boost in the automobile sector. And why not? Because the automobile sector has seen all. Because if I talk about the month of April, where the automobile companies saw zero level of production, have been suffering a lot in the pandemic time, because if the cars are not sold, then they cannot pay off their suppliers, and if they cannot pay off their suppliers, the suppliers are not able to pay off the interest on the loans on the loan, or even they cannot repay their principal money to the banks, which eventually creates a lot of stress in the banking system and creates a whole lot amount of NPAs. So once the automobile sector is survived, then you can see a chain effect in the economy, and thus economy as a whole can revive. And if I talk about the automobile sector, I was surprised to see that the Indian market is dominated by the car segments which are priced at 5 to 7 lakhs. But with the introduction of Kia and Morris Garages cars, so they have got a very good response from the Indian markets, because Kia cars which are priced around 15 to 20 lakhs range have seen a very good participation by the consumers. So this shows that the consumers are willing to spend on such expensive items and luxury items. So this shows a good sign for the automobile sector as well, because right from the zero production level to such level, it has been a roller coaster ride. And after all this, when government supports you, then it gives a whole lot of new energy in the automobile sector as well. So automobile sector will be a one sector which will boost the economy. And also the major players in the auto space, which is Maruti Suzuki, even the Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, or if I talk about machinery level kind of or factory level kind of vehicles, then L&T is involved, also Volvo is involved, also Eicher Motor is involved. So there is very kind of holistic approach in development of the automobile sector as a whole. So once this plan is implemented in a fairly manner, then I'm sure you will see a great boost in the automobile sector. And once, as I mentioned earlier, once the auto sector is revived, then you can see a chain effect on their auto ancillary companies and the MSMEs and other suppliers which which supply different kind of materials to these automakers. So yes, automobile sector will be a key sector to look out in the upcoming years. And definitely government has done well in reviving this automobile sector. So as I mentioned earlier, that this one is my personal favorite, because everyone wants to own a car, and especially during the pandemic times, people are avoiding the public usage of public transport. So even middle class, higher middle class people is also thinking to buy a car which is priced around at 3 to 4 lakhs. So it plays a dual effect in the automobile sector. It will create a fresh new demand also, and also it will create a demand from the compliance side too. So overall, automobile sector will be a good sector to look out for. And yes, you can take your bets on some of the companies like Tata Motors or Maruti Suzuki, Eicher Motors, Bajaj Autos. So just make it very clear that this is not any kind of recommendation, but this is kind of analysis which you can do at a very basic level. So I'm just telling you that only. So now let's move forward and talk about the most important thing which made this budget a historic budget, and that was the announcement of the capital expenditure, which stands at 5.5 lakh crore. So the government is planning to deploy 5.45 trillion rupees in the economy for its capital expenditure requirements. So that shows a very good sign, because before the budget, the analyst and the economic analyst and the political analyst were talking about reviving the demand. They were talking about helicopter money. They were talking about giving concession to the individuals. They were talking to increase the deduction limits in the income tax. But that didn't happen at all. Rather, government tried to go from the other side to increase the capex requirements in the country. So boosting the capex plays two important roles in the economy. Number one, if you increase the capex, it leads to higher generation of employment. It leads to higher job creation, and more people will be employed. So that will create new demand in the economy. Rather than uplifting the existing demand, the government has tried to create new demands. So that will have a good multiplier effect in the coming years. And secondly, the capex is very important from the point of view of investments from other countries. Now especially the conflict between the India and China has played a major role for the big manufacturing companies to come in India. As a matter of fact, you have seen Tesla registering itself in the Bangalore's ROC office. So that shows that the worldwide companies are now favoring India to come and set up their own businesses. Now with such high capex inclusion in the economy, the worldwide companies will now forcefully want to come to India instead of going to Vietnam or China. So this capex will boost a lot of confidence in the economy and in the foreign portfolio investors too, and also in the foreign business owners who want to expand their business overseas and want to create or become large MNCs. So that will have a great multiplier effect in the coming economies. And if this capex announcement is implemented or executed properly, then I'm pretty much sure that India could reach the 5 trillion economy mark by the end of 2025 or 2026. So this capex was totally from the point of view was totally from the point of view of creating new demands and bringing some kind of new investments in the country. Now let's move forward towards the last portion of the video where I will talk about DFIs and bad banks. Now DFI stands for Development Financial Institution. The main business of the institution will be to lend money to the infrastructure companies who will meet the requirements of the infrastructure projects in our country. Government has planned to create a lending portfolio of 5 lakh crore rupees over the period of next 3 years. So the whole budget estimates of the capex outflow will be done through DFI. Now talking about bad bank will basically act as an asset restructuring company or some kind of special purpose company where they will focus on reducing the NPS from the PSUs and some of the private banks. Now banks can easily focus on their lending business without worrying much about the NPS. So this move by the government shows that they are pretty much concerned about the financial health of the country and the economy. If the implementation of the bad banks is done in a very fairly manner, then you can see a lot of NPS going down from these major banks. One of the private banks which will be a major beneficiary of this move will be Yes Bank. So this was the end of this video and I wish that you all liked my analysis and my viewpoint. And I'm pretty much sure that you must have also done some kind of analysis of this budget. And if you want to share that, then you can certainly do so by commenting down in the comment box. There are some of the announcements which can be taken into consideration too, but these were some of the points which I personally liked. As I mentioned earlier, if all the budget plans are executed and implemented in a strategic manner, then our Indian economy can also speed up. So this was all from me for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then do like it and share it. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and also do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified of all the new videos coming from our side. Also, you can follow Day Roundup and me across all the social media platforms. All the links are given in the description box below. Till then, it's a goodbye from my side. And yes, do not forget to stay sharp and be updated. I'll see you soon in my next video. Thanks and cheers.